Let's begin. I am going to dive into the amazing artist known as Ian Hubert and how he makes films through Blender. Ian Hubert's approach to filmmaking highlights how much anyone can do in the 21st century with a good computer and a ton of experience. Ian Hubert's work is done in an open-sourced 3D software known as Blender that anyone can download. Ian Hubert's work excels in many different aspects in the software, such as modeling, texturing, and lighting, to just list a few. Ian Hubert is an amazing artist at achieving realism whilst having his own distinct style, which differentiates him from many other artists. One of the key advantages I find with Ian Hubert's work is that he is so close to the entire project the whole time, which means there is excellent world building, and consistently, his world building is amazing, and as Ian is a jack of all trades, you get a really professional outcome. What makes Ian Hubert's modeling, texturing, and lighting great? One of the key factors I associate with Ian Hubert is his texture work. Ian's texture work always includes some form of an image texture which provides amazing realism to his models. He unwraps the model and moves the UVs into place with the image. Ian uses UV editing to allow for an amazing texture work on his model. His texturing benefits his modeling skills as he turns a photo into an amazing 3D model. Ian's modeling will include extruding, loop cuts, as well as beveling in edit mode. He uses a texture to sell the detail and leaving his stuff low poly. Ian started learning modeling in the 90s, where having 1,000 polygons would make your computer slow down, whilst nowadays in computers you can get millions of polygons in comparison. You can get a greater amount of polygons due to computer components massively improving. From the first graphics card, having 32 megabytes of video RAM, to now with 24 gigabytes. We have 768 times more RAM what the first NVIDIA graphics card had, with 27.5 the processing size. These numbers on graphics cards keep getting better in the upcoming years. His workflow doesn't use high polygon modeling or sculpting much, which uses a greater amount of RAM. He optimizes his polygon count to ensure he can get as many different layers or objects into his scene, thus providing for a greater result. Ian Hubert's lighting feels so integrated in his scene, where every light has a purpose and feels naturally placed, which additionally makes his scene feel even more realistic. Ian Hubert has worked on his Dynamo Dream series, Prospect, Tears of Steel, and an Ed Sheeran music video, to list a few. Let's go to where Ian explains his strengths and weaknesses within Blender.
All those linkages are an IK chain, and so I'm just trying to show off where I actually do have detail and distract from the places where I don't. The reason though, there's a big cool popcorn bot in the foreground is because I'm trying to distract you from the janky people right behind it. And that's the whole deal.
Oh, you're right, those are super janky.
Yeah, and so but everybody's looking at the popcorn robot because I know how to do robots.
Let's move to the industry. Modern visual effects in the media gets lots of criticism, and the visuals don't look as good as they were 10 years ago. Which to some degree is true about visuals, but not for the reasons you may believe. The largest factor is the studios, as they set tight deadlines for the VFX artists, meaning the shots aren't always polished because they require more time. An example is in Black Panther, where they had 6 weeks for the end fight scene before released in cinemas. The quality of the rest of the film highlights it could have looked better. Lots of films additionally have a greater number of visual effects shots than ever before, like Jurassic Park having 63 to Jurassic World's 2,000 VFX shots. Lots of films may look unfinished, but is due to dealing with difficult areas like the human face, water, and motion more commonly. Lastly, I believe that in films, the standard has reached a height where every shot has to be pixel perfect. I think when people say VFX looks better in early 2000s, but from a technical level, you couldn't make visuals close to Avatar Way of Water level of simulations then. The power of Blender for filmmaking. Blender continues to evolve with the community quickly, as it is open-sourced. As technology has evolved over the last 20 years, so has the tools for indie filmmakers like Blender. You have many amazing artists and films that are produced in Blender like Everything Everywhere All at Once, Ian Hubert, Next Gen, as well as Preston Mutanga. These artists and films show off the art form and how people can be creative and different. To conclude, Blender is at the level where you can make amazing content from your bedroom with enough time, even if you have a little budget.